is the meaning of the Ascension in our lives? Giacomo Puccini, considered one of the best Italian composers of operas, wrote La Bohème, Madame Butterfly, Tosca, and he was diagnosed with terminal cancer in 1922, the year he began writing Turandot, which has been regarded as his greatest work. He worked on the score day and night, and when his sickness worsened, Puccini said to his students, his disciples, if you will, "If I don't finish Turandot, I want you to finish it." He died in 1924, and this work was unfinished. His disciples gathered all that was written from their master about Turandot, studied it in great detail, and then proceeded to complete the remainder of the opera. At the world premiere, it was performed in Milan, Italy in 1926, and his best student, Toscanini, was the conductor. And as he's leading the opera, he reached the point where his master had finished, and he motioned to silence the music, and he set down his baton, and he turned to the audience, and he said, "Thus far, the master wrote," but he died. And there was this long pause. Nobody moved. Then he picked up the baton and said, turning to the audience again, "But his disciples finished the work." And he began conducting the rest of the opera. And it finished to thunderous applause, and it was considered one of the finest moments in Italian operatic works. What is the meaning of the Ascension for us? There's a beautiful old legend that talks about Jesus returning to heaven, and the angels huddled around him, and they began to ask him what it was like when he was down on earth, and what he had accomplished. What was he doing? He began to tell them in great detail about his birth, his life, his death, and his resurrection, and how he had accomplished the work of redemption, which his Father had sent him to do. And then the angels asked, "Well, Lord, now that you're back in heaven, who will continue the work on earth?" And he said, "Oh, while I was on earth, I gathered disciples around me who believed in me and loved me, and they will be the ones who will spread the gospel and continue to do the work of the church." But the angels were perplexed, and they said, "You mean the guy Peter who betrayed you, and the disciples who fled when you were arrested and crucified? Do you really trust them enough? Do you mean to leave your work to them?" And they asked, "What will you do, Lord, if this plan doesn't work?" And Jesus said, "I have no other plan. It must work." What is the meaning of the Ascension in our lives? Well, Jesus accomplished the work of redemption which his Father had sent him to do. There is still unfinished work that needs to be done. And what is this work? We, the disciples, are given the answer in Scripture and in a particular way every time we reach the end of Mass and we hear words such as, "The Mass is ended. Let us go in peace to love one another and to serve the